Hello and welcome to Grumpy Old Men. We provide a service here. Providing the service, as ever, is Kev and Mike. Welcome. Online banking, Mike.
Online banking, yes. I've got a problem with online banking.
Who hasn't?
Because I can never remember...
your special part.
What your bank is.
No, I can't remember my memorable word. Right? And so...
You're in trouble if you can't remember
You really are.
You could have it tattooed on.
I'm all right with, what's your banking number and all that. I'm OK with that.
Yeah.
I'm OK. It starts with your date of birth.
Your PIN number.
PIN number's fine. Absolutely
Don't
no
tell
problem.
them what it starts with, for goodness sake.
No.
Mike.
Well, listen, to be honest, there are so many people out there now who are trying to hack me that, I don't know. Anyway, I had to try and... What was I trying to do? I can't remember what I was trying to do.
Get some money out or something?
Send me some cash. Send Kev some cash.
Something relatively straightforward. I couldn't... I know. Here's what it is. So I've got this iPad, right? This is my business account. Yeah. And for some reason, the iPad has started screwing up on the actual app, because when you try and...
it hasn't lost the X, has it, by any chance?
It hasn't lost the X, no.
You don't
But what it does is when you're trying to put the amount in to send money, it then doesn't recognise the amount and says, please add the amount. And then I have to cancel and go back in and all of that. And I thought, this is horrendous. This is just ridiculous.
And this is the app on your phone?
No, it's online on my iPad.
OK.
Right? So I could never get the app because, for a complicated reason, right? They told me I could never...
You can't remember.
No.
What about ringing up Kev's close friend Martin Lewis and asking him?
Well, here's what I can't do. I can't ring the bank because I've forgotten my telephone password. So and they won't tell me what it is, right? So I can't ring them. So I'm trying to figure out what to do, right? because the name on my account has got a space in it, and apparently if you've got a space in the name,
Mike Dash.
No, it's the company name.
Oh, I see.
It's the company name.
Right.
So it's
what's the company called? I mean, you
not
might as well give the account number and sort code as well, the way you go.
Anyway, the point is that because it's got a
Microsoft.
space, they told me you can't use the app because it doesn't recognise a space in the name. I'm like, well, nobody told me. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just change the name then of the account. So anyway, the point is I was stuck in this nightmare sort of rabbit hole for about 3 hours this week. I've eventually now got on the app because I changed the name of the account.
Thank God. What,
but
to
then,
Plank Limited or
something like that. Yeah. But then I got so far, and then I couldn't remember my memorable
Not again.
words. No. So I didn't know what it
Not
was.
that memorable
Yeah,
then.
obviously
Why
not
don't
memorable.
you could have it tattooed on your inner thigh.
I could do.
Where only the chosen few get to see.
That's very true. Yeah. I could do.
The unlucky
and then you
few.
could sit there and just, if you needed
The booby
to,
prize.
you could just pull your boxes up and have a look.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I've done a new one. And I've already...
Don't tell us what it is.
No, I'm not going to tell you what it
So
is.
you closed that account down and started a whole new one?
No. But I was finally able to figure out how to change the memorable word.
Oh.
Because
that's good.
I managed to get through it. But it was just the whole nightmare of, trying to...
Going forward, have you put any plans in place of how you're going to remember it?
No. Because I don't really want to write it anywhere in case...
No, because then it's a security risk.
If you put it on your phone, somebody gets the phone,
But you're lucky you didn't do it, my story about Apple Computer. If you forget your memorable name that gets you into, the Apple Store to buy apps and into everything.
Yeah.
If you forget it, You're over. You're over.
You're a third-class citizen.
You have to go to an Apple store and you have to negotiate and they have to get in touch with you. It's pretty much impossible.
No. Well, no,
that was still going.
Hold on, the laptop still isn't working?
No, the laptop's working. I just can't get into Apple Store or anything like that.
That's probably for the best, though, Kev, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah, I shouldn't really go there.
No. Maybe set up another account.
I'll tell you where I'd like you to go now, though, Kev.
Yes.
BBC licence fee.
The BBC licence fee, yes. It's £169.50, and the more
Is it really?
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was £170.
It's gone up to what everybody says is £170, but it's £169.50.
Okay.
And more, I think you have to ask, what are we getting for this? OK, we can talk about all the BBC.
A lot of apologising.
Well, we can talk about all the BBC's...
What about MasterChef? That's a good programme.
Well, we can talk about all their many problems. No, it's not, by the way. The MasterChef is symptomatic of so many programmes on television. It's all right. It was quite a good format when it started. 30 years on, do I want to be watching the same thing all the time? The same for The Apprentice, same for Strictly Come Dancing, for Britain's Got Talent. All these shows that never, ever change. They just troll up.
What about Antiques Roadshow, Kev?
Well, that's just a disaster.
Oh, yeah,
an absolute
don't
disaster.
tell me you don't enjoy guessing how much it's going to be worth.
Do you think... listen, one of the good
Children
things
in
about...
He should be on it.
Children in Need. I told you about Channel 4. This is how times have changed, right? About 10 years ago, Channel 4 did a spoof on the other side when Children in Need was on. Might have been when your old man was still presenting it. Anyway, if you wanted to watch something else on Channel 4 was Children in Need of a Good Slap. I mean, you don't get that kind of humour on telly anymore, do you?
You don't get that kind of TV anymore.
They wouldn't allow it now, would they?
No, but my point is the programmes you get on the BBC are terrible. It very rarely does a decent drama. If it does do a drama, it's a woke lecture about what an awful person you are for being white and middle class, etc., etc. The comedy's terrible, the drama's terrible, the entertainment shows are the same every damn year.
The news is awful.
Isn't it true that since it's gone up, 300,000 people went, right, that's enough, I'm not doing it?
Yeah, they're losing, I think, 30 million a year from people who just don't pay the licence anymore. And then you add in all the...
Do they still have those vans that go around catching you?
Yeah.
How do they do it now? How do they catch you now?
Well, they just knock on your door.
Well, I mean, if you buy any kind of piece of TV equipment, you still get a letter, don't you, from them, or an email saying, you've just bought this, have you got a licence?
Do you remember those adverts in the 70s and 80s with the van?
No, they don't have those anymore.
I'm watching my TV under a blanket.
They don't have those.
I'm surprised Chuck hasn't dug it out to play it, because normally he plays that advert.
Yeah.
Because he can still do it. In fact, he's got an even better advert, because there was one for people telling you to get the TV licence, and of course, unfortunately, they used people like Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris to remind you that you should get your TV licence.
But, I mean, look, we mentioned MasterChef.
Yeah.
Right? There's one less person being paid because they've just sacked John Turode as well.
Have they?
They haven't sacked him.
They have.
Have they?
Blimey.
What, in the last hour or so?
Yeah, within the last hour.
Breaking news.
Unbelievable. But anyway, my point... that's good news. I mean, not for John Turode, I suppose.
It's horrible.
I suppose they think...
John Turode's a very nice man
Yeah,
as well.
no, I don't mean it's good news. He's
Greg
a good
Wallace,
guy.
not so much.
He's a good guy, John. He doesn't deserve that. But I think they're probably wanting to wipe the slate clean.
What about Greg Wallace? Does he deserve it?
Yes. Next question. No, I don't mind saying this on air.
You'd like the job as the host of MasterChef?
I heard stories, I used to be sort of in and around the TV industry, and I heard stories about Greg Wallace dating back many, many years. And one time I was sitting in makeup at ITV. We were both about to go on Good Morning Britain, I believe it was. It might have been the GM, what do they call it before that?
Yeah, GMTV.
Yeah, GMTV. But I was about with him. And we're sitting there in makeup. He's next. All right, mate. All very hail fellow, well met.
Yeah.
And two pretty girls doing our makeup. And he says, "Here, girls, you'll like this one." And then he starts to tell this joke that even grown men would find disgusting. Yeah. And you think, what is going on here?
But he's neurodiverse, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, anyway, he walked out and I said to the girl, "I'm really sorry about that." The girl said, "Don't worry, he does it every single time." There's only two people I ever heard makeup girls in the TV industry complain about, because they're the sort of people they see good in everyone.
The other one?
They go, that Adolf Hitler, is he a really nice guy? He was in yesterday. But seriously, the only two people I've heard makeup girls say bad things about are Greg Wallace and Rolf Harris. Anyway, to go back to my general point, if you add the lousy dramas, the terrible comedies and the repetitive, cliched entertainment shows to this plethora of problems, MasterChef, Bob Vylan at Glastonbury, Gary Lineker, Jimmy Savile, Hugh Edwards, and now, of course, as I say, the MasterChef
Not much of a
saga.
five-a-side team.
Yeah, but you look, I mean, and they expect us to pay £100 £170 a year for this shambles.
Yeah.
And by the way, what a ludicrous anachronism. This is the only country in the world, quite rightly, God help us if there are any more, where you can get sent to prison for not paying for your television entertainment. The British people don't realise how mad that is, and we ought to tell the BBC to go to hell and stop paying that nonsense.
OK.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I think...
Agreement all round.
There we go. And there endeth the lesson.
Has Turode been sacked, though? Wow.
Yeah, he has.
Wow.
Yeah, just now.
Sorry.
Anyway.
I mean, that somebody goes out, it'll be an old story, though.
Yeah, but well, you know...
The viewers will like to see the verite of it.
The point is that I think it's obvious why Greg Wallace has been sacked.
Yeah.
Right? Not to me so obvious why John Turode.
No.
Well, he said that he
was alleged to have made some kind of
racist
remark, which he says he doesn't remember.
Yeah. But it's this thing with the BBC. It's like they can't back anything.
No.
They'll back the wrong thing.
Well, they ignore it for
and
a long
then
time, don't they?
They ignore it, then they back the wrong
everybody.
thing, and then they sack everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I hope Turode sues because I don't think Greg Wallace has got much of a case, but it strikes me 100% they're getting rid of Turode because they want to wipe the slate clean and say it's a brand new MasterChef. Because if Turode's there, it's like it's tainted.
Brand new MasterChef with Mike Graham and Kevin O'Sullivan.
Yeah, let's do it. He's a good cook.
Yeah, I can cook.
Yeah, watch you two.
I can tell dirty jokes. I'm not running around with that with trousers on, though.
No. But that's because
I think most people would approve of that.
Your autism doesn't manifest itself that you've got to have no pants.
No, it doesn't. Or indeed, it doesn't make me put a sock on, which is not where you're supposed to put one.
No.
Frankly.
Anyway, can we talk about people sneezing?
Yes.
All right. Now, given what we've been through as a world in the a few years ago, and all the instruction about how to behave with an illness around other people or whatever.
Oh, I see. You're talking about COVID.
It's that season at the moment, isn't it? People sneezing. Why, still, in this day and age, have you got a situation where people do not put their hand over their mouth? Honestly, the other day...
Just do that.
The other day, I had a guy walking towards me on a platform.
Yeah.
He sneezed... Matter came out of his nose.
You felt it?
No, matter came out of his nose and landed on his knee, and he just went, ugh, like that, wiped it off and carried on. Now, at some point, he's going to grab a rail. He's going to just even if it is, sneeze into if you haven't got a tissue, sneeze into the crook of your elbow.
Yeah.
When did this happen? That people no longer cover their mouths or faces
when they cough,
when they sneeze or cough?
Just there, they're going... It's like, what,
do you do this if you're on a train?
Would you prefer it if they wore a mask?
No.
No.
Let's be really clear.
Yeah, let's be clear.
Just be a polite human. Where if you don't have a tissue, you sneeze into the crook of your arm. If you've only got one arm, sneeze into the crook of the other arm.
You've only got one arm.
If you've only got one arm.
I'm just trying to be flexible here.
I can't sneeze into my arm. I've only got one.
Do you do this?
The good one. Carried it with the other.
Do what I do when somebody goes right next to you? I go. I sort of try and hold my breath.
Oh yeah, no, I don't breathe in.
In order not to breathe in, yeah.
But I have been known to. I threw a packet of tissues at a bloke. I just happened to have one in my pocket. Sorry about that. This winter, I threw a packet of tissues at a man on the tube because he was sitting next to me going,
sniffing.
You need that. What's
not as
wrong
good as a
with
friend
people?
of ours who once was bothered to a large extent by a man on a train. Who got in
when you say bothered
by this guy. He said, well, these empty trains, a guy came and sat right behind him. It's a bit like my story the other week of people parked too near you.
Yes.
And the guy came and sat right behind him and started very loudly opening a packet of crisps and then very loudly eating them. Right behind him. So
I had this in a lift about an hour ago.
He
bloke eating nuts.
He couldn't stand it after a while, and he just leaned over and said, do you mind not sitting there and doing that? And the guy was abusive to him. So he just grabbed a crisp and chucked them out the window.
Very good. I like that.
Which is very good.
But I had that not an hour ago in a lift.
Yeah.
The bloke got in. I don't know what nuts he was eating or what kind of echo chamber he had for a mouth, but the noise was deafening.
Right. But also the other thing about people sneezing is you get these people now who do the multiple sneeze. Where it's like, a lot of women do it. Like
stifling sneeze.
7 or 8 sneezes. Yeah.
That one. How do you do that? I can't do that.
No.
My good lady wife suffers living with a man who I sneeze very loudly. Right? I can't
Yeah,
sneeze
I tend
quietly.
to sneeze quite loudly, yeah.
And also, I inherited this affliction from my mother, which is some point, something I imbibe or eat or whatever makes me sneeze either 8 or 12 times in a row.
Right. Wow.
Can't explain why.
Yeah.
But you know what? When that happens, I've got plenty of tissues.
Yeah.
I don't sneeze on my wife. I mean, she complains, obviously, saying, God, I can't hear the
Do you
TV.
tend to have tissues on you all the time then?
Well, we have, like...
Accessible.
There are tissues next to the
if
sofa.
you're
There are
travelling-
tissues next to the bed.
Really?
Yeah. Not...
This is fascinating.
Whoa.
This is fascinating stuff.
Maybe we're all a little bit irritable, Mike. Is it because of the extreme weather?
Well, it could be because of that. You know, we were told this week that by the Met Office...
Climate change.
That climate change means that we're going to have to get used to some extreme weather. We haven't had any extreme weather.
I had a... No,
Right?
actually,
You mean
yes.
nice hot weather?
Yeah.
The weatherman on BBC
Right.
just like threw it out there, just like it's because of climate
Yeah.
change.
That's 'cause it's BBC policy.
But that's an
No,
opinion.
not
Right.
in BBC. It's that they literally have written it down as a policy.
Right.
Climate change is immutable. It's not a discussion.
Whether
It's a
you
fact.
believe
Well,
it or
that's what
not.
Ofcom told them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him going, and that's because of climate
Yeah.
change.
I know.
Anyway, have a nice evening.
Have a nice evening, but it's going to be extreme weather, you know. And the point is that we have heat waves occasionally, as does every other part of the world.
Yes.
It hasn't got any hotter, you know. We've always had heat waves. They keep telling us that the heat waves are now getting more frequent, but it's probably because they're changing the way they measure it.
Last summer was crap.
Last summer wasn't great, but if you remember, there was a couple of what they called wildfires.
In
because-
Essex.
Because somebody set fire to the grass. in
Britain's
Essex.
on fire.
Britain's on fire. Wildfire.
Britain's
They actually
burning.
started giving out wildfire alerts.
Yes.
They've started saying, you know, on the tube.
What colour are those?
Well, they have to be almost
Amber?
black.
Are they amber?
No, they're almost black now because
Are they?
because they've
That's
got
not really fire coloured,
no,
though, isn't it?
but it is when it's
red
finished.
or amber.
When it's
It's
finished,
very black when it's
very
finished,
black
yeah.
when it's finished.
Char.
Charcoal. But yeah, so that's basically what they've got. The hottest temperature colour now is black for charcoal. It's all burned because everything else is really red. Even Scotland now is red on the weather map.
Yeah.
When you know, I've lived in
Which
Scotland.
must be upsetting because they prefer blue
They
as the
do
colour.
prefer blue, and also I've lived in Scotland during the summer, and it's not that hot at all.
No.
It doesn't get hot. It gets a little bit muggy. It might get to
Loads
sort
of
you know,
mosquitoes, right?
27, 28, and you get bitten to death by midges, yeah. But this ludicrous thing about extreme weather, and I was at Wimbledon twice last week, as luck would have it, and on the Saturday it was pretty warm. It was
not
about-
even once.
It was about 32 degrees, right, sitting in the sunshine,
Yeah.
and you had to be careful. You had to put some sunscreen on, and we were all sweating.
Because you were there for the women's final, right?
I was.
So that was what, 33 minutes in the blazing sun?
Yeah, and 33 minutes in the blazing
Taxing.
sun, hydrated by champagne, and with no hat. And it was fine. You know, I didn't get burnt. I didn't die.
You know,
I didn't have a heart
not
attack.
everyone
you know.
was made of sterner stuff.
I
as
mean,
you.
there were people being carried out of the place.
Were there?
Yeah.
Drunk.
Drunk, yeah.
Probably because they were either very old or they were just very hot. I don't know. But we were fine. Everybody
Was
around
Cliff
us
Richard
was fine.
there?
I didn't see him.
No?
I think,
Thank God.
I think they finally stopped going. You know, because Sue Barker's off the BBC. I don't know.
Doesn't get the free
It's
tickets
the only time
anymore.
we used to go, I think. Yeah, I don't know. But it was, it was hot. But it was never, you never sort of got to the point where you went, oh my God, I can't bear it. I can't bear it. I'll have to move to a colder climate.
Before I find myself going down a Cliff Richard rabbit hole, can we talk about temperatures on tube trains, please?
So
It's pretty hot down there.
I was laughing at what Mike was saying. Also laughing about John Turode.
Still.
BBC just sacking everyone.
Well,
He's middle-aged, he's white, get rid of him, for God's sake.
Get rid of them.
Quick.
I mean, we've got a lot of weather-related grumps here, but I've just been on the tube train. I've got a few other grumps to mention as well while I'm at it. But the temperatures down there, we've discussed this before. It's an absolute fact that actually the temperatures on London's tube trains are at such a level, it would be illegal to transport animals.
Yeah, no, I've always said you wouldn't transport
No,
cattle
it's
in those
literally, technically illegal.
It
It's
is,
too hot.
Yeah.
So humans can go down there, but
Yeah.
not animals. So it's like seriously hot down there.
And I've seen some animals on the tube.
Except,
let me tell you.
I think the district line, I think it's got air conditioning, but I'm on the northern line. It has
District line's lovely.
Yeah, it's got air
Yeah,
conditioning.
but it doesn't run at all.
Airy.
So
No.
it's great when you get on one, but it hardly ever runs.
It's like the Elizabeth line.
Anyway, I was just on it, the Northern Line, and for once in my life, I was in plenty of time. And of course, we pull into Euston, the train stops for about 10 minutes, and then some guy comes on and says, "Yeah, there's looks like there's someone on the track at Old Street." So I gave it another 3 minutes. I thought, forget it. I'm going to have to go and get on the Victoria line down to the Jubilee line and then into London Bridge that way. And so I'm just walking across to the Victoria line. And just as I'm about to get on the train, there's an announcement saying there are severe delays on the Jubilee line. So I did a U-turn. I said, well, if I just run, I might be able to get back on that train.
I'd quite like to have seen that.
I would.
I was just
Does
about to
anyone
get...
know anyone at TfL we could get that footage?
So as I got back to the train that I had just got off, about 3 minutes, the door shuts and it goes off down the tunnel. And I go, oh, God. Anyway, luckily, another one came in 1 minute's time. So I thought, no harm done. And the train pulls in. Of course, I get off. I get on and sit there for about another 7 minutes where the guy said there's still someone on the track at Old Street. It's just that...
In these temperatures, that's very inconsiderate.
It's
to throw yourself
inconsiderate.
on the tracks.
It really is.
And I've just found that... I
Do
don't
it
know...
in the winter.
I've begun to find that
Please
freezing
throw
in the
yourself-
winter.
Please throw yourself on the tracks.
But I reckon 50% of my journeys on the tube are screwed up.
Yeah.
Are a mess.
But do you know how hot it actually is? Has it been measured?
I
the
did see
Bloody.
it.
I think bloody is the exact heat.
The
mean,
heat
you're talking-
measurement,
Bloody
beyond
hot.
black.
Bloody
Well,
hot.
you're talking 35 old money, about
Yeah.
100 degrees
Okay.
down there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Why can't they just put air conditioning in?
Piccadilly line this week. Oh dear. Anyway,
mean, they've managed
this is all very London centric, and what I
Yeah.
want to talk about is supermarket freezers, in particular, people who manufacture these things, and anybody who manufactures
them.
cooling stuff. Do you sell the crap stuff to the UK? Because every single supermarket I've been into in the last couple of weeks, every single freezer has got nothing in it because they've broken down.
Right.
Or they've got they put those yellow tubes next to it to soak up all the crap that's leaking out
Yeah.
of it. Have you ever seen that in a Spanish supermarket?
I haven't.
No. Ever seen it in a Cypriot supermarket?
No.
Turkish? No.
In fact,
all
I
of
didn't
their
even see
freezers
it.
working perfectly
Yeah.
well. Here, we get a couple of days of hot weather, and the whole system breaks down.
Yeah. I must admit, my favourite supermarket of all time was when I went to Puglia in Italy, and I went on a Sunday afternoon, and everyone was dressed up because they all go to church and then they go to the supermarket, and the people looked amazing.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
But
And the produce was amazing.
Yep.
The stuff was beautiful.
no,
The
you
displays
go
were
to
wonderful.
you go to a supermarket, south of France or whatever, high season.
Yeah.
All the produce is there, looking fresh.
Yeah.
Nothing's wilted. The freezers are all working. The fridges work. There's nobody there.
There's no spotty-looking youths.
The fridges
you know.
in UK supermarkets actually have blinds on them that they can pull down when they've got too cold. They're not cold enough.
Right.
They can just pull them in. Don't touch
cold enough.
everything in there.
Yeah. Do you mean the ones that are actually open? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
The only Lidl I've ever been to was in Mallorca. It was astonishing. It was just like
great.
this sort of cornucopia of amazing produce.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like that here. A big thank you to
Brilliant
Kev
link.
and Mike for being. See,
really is.
this is why they pay me the big bucks, people.
It's not like that here.
Basically crap here. Isn't it? It's just rubbish. It's rubbish.
Even Lidl's better overseas. Anyway, that's all for this week. Big thanks to Mike and Kev as ever. Until next week, stay, I don't know, something like grumpy or something.